Thanks to the supporters of channel member Stuart Chatterton. Well, after £550 million spent over the summer with a net spend of nearly 400 million, possibly coming in at about 350 million net spend once some sales have gone through, we probably have to win everything this year, don't we? First up today is the North London Derby European Super Cup edition. Hello and welcome to Club 3, part 23 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you. One is the first game of the new Premier League season away against Bournemouth, and the second one is that European Super Cup against Europa League winners Tottenham. A North London derby in Europe, in France. Lovely, lovely, lovely. They're probably all on the same train / how'd you get to Toulouse? Train, plane, maybe an automobile. There was, if you've missed the double-header transfer special over the last couple of days, there's far too much to cover. Bottom line, we've strengthened the squad massively, and we should do very well this season. The season preview has a second. We've now got 3 players in the media dream 11. Our new goalkeeper, Sandro Mauro, our new centre-back / right-back, Joachim Brand, and of course Rui Camara, who is getting better and better and better. I've already dubbed him the new Cristiano Ronaldo. I wonder if the game is doing that, because he really is. He's an elite winger. He's a star player for his country. At 23, he's already too old to be the new Cristiano Ronaldo. He's just brilliant. So this is the team for the Bournemouth game. Some new faces, and hopefully we're just going to absolutely smash them. We're going with Morao in goal, a back four of Asante, Gabriel, Brand and Tamela. We're still missing our new left back, Rashevsky. He's still out injured, as is Barrow, Martinez, João Pedro. So a few injuries accumulating. The best thing is this year we've got the strength and depth to cope with it. And Nico Williams still not able to get on the bench despite the 4 injuries that we've got in the squad. So we're still a little bit of a makeshift. I wouldn't even say it's a makeshift back four. Tamela and Asante are both good enough to be top level fullbacks, but they're not our first choice top level full. Although, to be fair, Tamela probably is at this point ahead of Remy. Tamela's brilliant. I really like him. Plus, he gives us a little bit more aerial oomph at the corners, because Brand, although he's brilliant, is only 5'10", so we leave him back for corners. So we'll be leaving Asante and Brand back. Well, it might be Asante I'm sending forward, because long term, we want this guy forward for corners because he's a bit bigger still. So I think I've set my corner instruction up to be Gabriel and left back forward, right back and Brand further back, because that way, whether it's Tamea or whether it's Remy, because if it's Remy, I don't want to have to keep changing my corner technique, my corner tactic, depending on who's playing in the back four. The one I've got now, I think, works. We've then got Chvalski and Rengifo, new boys in midfield, with a new boy ahead of them, Miliaccio, and then Magno and Camara supporting Delap up front. And we played Bournemouth towards the end. In fact, I was going to say towards the end of the season. We played them in the FA Cup final, and it was actually a much tougher game than it was supposed to be. So fingers crossed we see them off a little bit quicker and a little bit more effectively this time around, because we are only in this for winning the Premier League. That is what this season is all about. Bournemouth escaped relegation right at the end of last season. 15 seconds, that'll do. This is what we've been doing this all summer. We score early goals now. We start games quickly, and we've started it quickly and well there. 1-0 already after 15 seconds. That's what I'm talking about. And like I say, it's all about winning the league this year. If we do this extra year and don't end up winning the Premier League off the back of it, it would have been an entire waste of time. And I have spent all day today recording this summer that we've just had, the transfers, the Club World Cup, all that kind of stuff. It's probably been an 8-hour recording session, just getting everything done and the editing and stuff in between and the break for lunch. It's been a big one, and I want a reward, and my reward should be a Premier League victory this season. So if the game is listening, you owe me. I've spent a lot of time recording today. I'd quite like to get out of this suit, but I can't do it on YouTube because YouTube get all funny about nipples. And my nipples wouldn't even be in the frame, but they'd still get a grump on for me showing some cleavage. Right, Morale plays it forward to Gabriel, the old man of the team now. Rengifo gives it straight back to him. Rengifo might have worried that he wasn't going to be in the team when we then signed Chvalski as well, but the injury to Barrow means Rengifo gets to stake his claim for a place in the team early on, And if he does well, the onus is then on Barrow to get back in the team, because Barrow at 29 should know, based on how I manage my teams, no matter how good he is, his days are numbered. And we've got two very good young midfield players in here. We've got Martinez lurking as well, who's almost recovered from his injury. We've got a lot of very good players in positions, all the positions. We're a good side. I really, really, really like this Arsenal team. That is almost one of the bigger motivations for doing the extra year. I just didn't feel like we were finished. And I know, and storyline wise and all that, we had a good reason. We hadn't won the Premier League, but I just felt like this save wasn't done until I had an absolutely dominant, all-conquering team. And I think we've got that now. And I mean, I'm setting myself up to be sacked by Christmas, and wouldn't that be just the perfect end? That's the only way we get any extra continuation of this save. If I somehow get sacked before winning the Premier League this year, then we'll go and find another club and right a wrong. And we could be going on for months yet. It's already been a very unusual shape for a non-League to Legend save. It's been very different from everyone we've ever done before. That'd be the final piece of weird. And Miliaccio did really well there. The little 1-2 with Delap got himself through on goal, but wasn't quite able to finish off the move that he started. But really lively play from him to actually create the chance in the first place. Magno looked like he fisted that away. That looked like his hand, but apparently it wasn't. And I'm not going to draw the referee's attention to it. And Bournemouth are putting us under quite a lot of pressure at the moment. I would quite like us to get them to... Can they pack this in? That's really what I'm looking for. We've got the ball clear, but again, not very far. And they're just getting it back in our half again. And we're just not really dealing with it. We've got all these fancy new defenders and goalkeeper. And luckily, the new goalkeeper is proper fancy. And he's just made a very good save there. So maybe we're just testing out the two new boys at the back. But I'd rather just get the ball up the other end and go and score some goals, please. I said I wanted to thump them. We've not looked like scoring since the 16th second of the game. And that's not good against a team that's probably going to get relegated this year. We don't want one of our best players ratings-wise to be Morale. Camera's picked up an injury as well now. Pedri's going to come on the right. In fact, do I even want to bring Pedri on? Is it too late to change that? We've got Carlos Alberto on the bench. That's annoying. I mean, why have I done that? Carlos Alberto is a winger. Saka is on the bench as well. Pedri's the last man I would have brought on to play there. Don't just listen to your assistant manager, boys and girls. Right, Rengifo. Back to Gabriel, who plays it forward for Asante, who's got really far forward on this left-hand side. And now it's Travalski in midfield, slung it into Delap. Miliaccio shoots from range and couldn't get the bend on it. I can see what he's trying to do, but he just couldn't get it to bend back in goalwards. But he is having a good game. He's having a bright start to life here at Arsenal. We're going to point the finger and we're going to tell them they need to do better than they've been doing so far. 1-0 against a team like this is not the start to the season that we were looking for. Spurs are 4-0 up in their game. This is the kind of thing we're competing with. We've got to outdo Spurs. We've got to play them next in the European Super Cup. We need to show the world we're better than they are. Right. Delap is tired, and now my stupid assistant manager is suggesting bring on Almada for him, which actually, to be fair, isn't that dumb, because we don't really have anyone else to come on to play up front. Camera would have been the one. Right, we've got to take him off because we can't afford the injury. We might actually... I know Miliaccio has played up front quite a lot for Peterborough. I think what I'm going to do is bring on Saka, put Miliaccio up front. Saka can be there as inverted winger. And yeah, we'll do that. I know he played against us as a starting striker last season in one of the games where they set up mega defensively. He's probably loving the fact he's playing in a team that attacks again. Brand, first real look at him, just a tidy pass. It wasn't really £114 million pass, but what can you expect really? He's there to defend, not pass the ball around. Asante on the left-hand side, that's a poor pass to Pedri, and we've left ourselves under a little bit of trouble here. And this is where we really see if we're getting our money's worth out of Brand and Morale. Rengifo has injured himself making that tackle, but Brand, I think, is that Brand or was it Tamela? Either way, between whoever, I think it was Tamela, between him and Morale in goal, we have kept Bournemouth out again, but we shouldn't be desperately defending against Bournemouth. Right, Rengifo is now injured as well. Carlos Alberto is going to come on for him. And we're just going to swap those two over, and Chvalski can be the box-to-box midfielder. Carlos Alberto can do deep line playmaker, which he's done many times before over the course of last season. Probably going to play there less this year. Now we've brought a couple of specialist central midfielders in, but he's going to be a very adequate reserve in a number of different positions like he was last year. This has been not quite what I was expecting, and Bournemouth could yet grab an unlikely equaliser. Magno chips it forward, looking for the run of Miliaccio. He wasn't really running. Asante to Carlos Alberto. Somebody needs to stop. They all need to stop doing that. I think they're taking this a little bit too, for granted. Oh, blimey. Brand doing very well there. First mistake we've really seen from Morale, but Brand had him covered. I like those two already. Saka with the in-swinger. Gabriel heads it straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. But I think Brand and Morale have shown their worth already in this match. So perhaps that's why the game has gone this way, so we can show the value of those two. Miliaccio, I think, is offside there. He is. That must be the end of the game. This has been a really disappointing start to the season. After how well we've played all summer, we scored a goal after 15 seconds, and then nothing's happened since, other than we've seen our defenders play well, this wasn't the game for it. Pedri to Carlos Alberto, Tamela. Can we grab a last second goal? I think, is that a penalty? I think it might be. It's not. It's a final whistle. Fair enough. We won the game. That's the important thing. It's 3 points on the board. A very disappointing way to do it, though. And now Rui Camara is going to miss the European Super Cup, which is also pretty disappointing. Just the one change for the Tottenham game then. João Pedro, just about fit to, I say just about, he is fit to play. So he comes in on the right-hand side for the injured Rui Camara, who can sit on the bench along with most of the other injured players. Asante does keep his spot at left back because Rashevsky's still not fit enough to start. But I want to give this group of players another opportunity to show me that they can get the job done in a competitive game. We saw how well they played in the Community Shield. We've seen them play some very, very good games over the course of the summer. I have high hopes for them. And, this is a North London derby with a trophy on the line against a team that, they didn't even finish in the top 6 last year. Oh, God. 7 minutes it took for João Pedro to get injured again. Saka can come on the right-hand side. He can come on as an inverted winger. And, he'll want it. He's an Arsenal boy. Hopefully he'll come on and lead by example and help us collect our second trophy of the season, having already collected the Community Shield. Like I say, Tottenham, the only reason they qualified for Europe this year is because they won the Europa League. So they've got themselves into the Champions League. They wouldn't have even got in the Conference League off of their league position alone. So I'm going to say they were lucky, even though it's exactly what we did last year when we won the Europa League and got ourselves into the Champions League, then won the thing because we're great. But this is Tottenham. They're not great, but they have got the ball here. Although Magno wins it back. Some nice pressing there for Magno, has the effort, but the Spurs keeper tips it over the crossbar. And we have our first corner, or at least first corner that's worthy of a highlight of the game. Rengifo with the in-swinger, but it didn't get past the first defender, who has headed clear for Spurs. And it looks like we're going to head in at half-time at 0-0. And the amount of times I said over the summer that the one thing we're missing is a really lethal goal scorer. And now here we are, dominating games, playing well, not scoring goals. I'm looking at Liam Delap, just desperately hoping that he's going to step up and do something. He scored 8 goals in the Club World Championship. He was in such great form over the summer. But we might have to go out and buy a striker. We've got a bid in for Gascon at the moment in the region of 50 million. We could still try and get maybe 30 for Nico Williams. The transfer window is still open for another few weeks. So if we can get both of them gone, we could potentially spend 80, 90 million pounds on a striker. It's definitely an idea. I'm really tempted to bring Rui Camara on to play up front just to see how he plays there. But he's not fully fit. But at the same time, we're going to do it anyway because I don't want to go and buy a player that we don't need. Miliaccio didn't look like he was up to the job of playing as our striker in the Bournemouth game, but maybe Rui Camara is the man who can be our striker when the other strikers aren't doing their striking. There's so many players who can theoretically play up front in this team, but we need that 30 goal a season striker that could be Liam Delap. But if he drops out of form like he has these first couple of games of the season, even though he scored in the last game, scored the winner, but, you know, he's not scoring hat-tricks every game. That means he's out of form in Kev language. Miliaccio with the shot that whistles just past the post. Tell me this game doesn't go to extra time. I think we're going to penalties. I'm getting fed up of penalty shootouts. Is it extra? Oh, we are doing extra time. Why? Where's the logic? It's the start of the season. Let everyone have a rest. Who have we got on the bench who can come on and change this game? Pedri is probably the man to come on. So let's bring him on for Miliaccio. I think that's the only other change we can make. I'm looking at it though, thinking, I wonder if it is. Can we bring Remy on for Asante? No. So Pedri can come on. In fact, let's put Pedri out wide and get Almada in behind the camera. Because Almada, I think he's more creative. Pedri, I think he's more likely to break free and grab himself a goal on the left-hand side. Whereas Almada, we've seen him on a number of occasions just be the man who can pull all the strings, and he does it better, I think, than Pedri does. But Pedri offers more goal-scoring oomph, which is why Pedri usually gets the nod. But I think Miliaccio is my man for the time being. We're going to encourage... Are we really going to go for an entire episode where we only score one goal after how much I bigged this team up in the intro? The game heard the intro. I'm certain that's what's happened. Oh, they've hit the crossbar and Brand gets it clear. He has saved us a couple of times in this episode already. I'm very much not regretting Joachim Brand as a new signing for us. I expect you to win this shootout. We're the Champions League winners. They're the Europa League winners. We're Arsenal. They're Spurs. And it's Harry Kane stepping up for the first penalty for Spurs. And it's saved by Morale. This is where we're going to see the value of spending all that money on a goalkeeper. Thiago Almada stepping up to take our first penalty, and he scores 1-0 to Arsenal. And now I think it's Brand stepping up. Oh, no, we don't get to take our next one yet. That's not how penalty shootouts work. But it is another opportunity. No, I thought we were going to just have a 5-save hero. And now it's Brand stepping up to show us that, I mean, this is probably the first time he's ventured into the other half. I just make him stay back at all times. And he can take a good penalty as well. 2-1. Excellent stuff. Maybe we'll get him on penalties, but I don't ever want him to leave our half. He is my defending machine. Arthur for Spurs. Keeper's making himself very big and makes the save again. Tell you what, morale's good, isn't he? Rengifo now to make it 3-1. And this puts some real pressure on Spurs if he scores this, and he does. He's now rewarding me for the money we spent on him. This penalty shootout is all about justifying the big money I spent over the summer. If Morale saves another one here, we've won. And you wouldn't bet against him. He's looked very dominant in both of the games that he's played so far. He's never really looked like conceding a goal. And, oh yeah, fingertips to that again. But we need another one. Again, same situation. If we score, we win, and we get to see a cartwheel. And really, at this point, that's what I'm looking for from most of these videos. If we get a cartwheel in a video, I'm over the moon. It's going to be Pedri to take. He is taking his time on the run-up here. I think it's one of these long run-ups where they just hit it. Pedri, it gives it a little bit of a chip. And we have won the European Super Cup for the second year in a row. And, I mean, it's no less than we deserved. We're the Champions League winners, for goodness sake. We made hard work of it. We need to start scoring some goals in actual matches from open play. But I think it's pretty clear we've fixed the defensive frailties that we had by just bringing in two of the best defensive players in the world. And it's won us our first game of the league season, and it's won us the European Super Cup. So they're starting to repay the money that we spent on them already. And now are we going to see the cartwheel from the big man? And here he goes. Oh, beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful. Let's go to the dressing room. Well done on yet another trophy for the cabinet. And now we need to get our heads down, win some league games, and get ready for the Champions League to start up very soon. João Pedro's broken his toe. That's a problem. I really think I might have to go out and buy another striker before the next episode, which is probably silly, but I might. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.